So, Sega Shop Europe on Twitter posted a post saying everyone who has a Sonic the Hedgehog collection, post a photo. And it got me thinking, while I've got all my stuff out, I haven't done an update on my collections for a while. So I thought while I've got my stuff everywhere, I'll do so. So we'll start with the standalone cartridges because they're just as important as the complete sets. Some of them I've only got like case and cartridge, but I try to get manual as well. So without further ado, we have Newton League Football. This one is a classic. So yeah, from EA, they made some pretty good games. I actually, my friend Steve actually. He had a whole box full of Megadrive games, and he wasn't collecting for that. He collects a lot of PlayStation and Wii and stuff. And so he had this in there, and he didn't realize it. But it's actually, I think it's supposed to be worth quite a bit now, even just for the standalone cart. But it's a pretty awesome game. So we'll put that to the side. What do we have here? We've got, what's this? Captain America and the Avengers. I don't know if you can make that cover out very well. This focus is pretty shocking. Let's just have a look there. There we go. It's a little bit better. It looks pretty badass. I love the art style, and I certainly love the these like that kind of font, like that sort of typography. It looks really cool. Data East. So yeah, people will look back on this and be like, "What? Marvel Comics did cool stuff." Because, well, Marvel Comics did cool stuff, but Disney don't. Not anymore, anyway. Not for a long time. So here we have the Phantom 2040. So in 2040, this game will be pretty accurate. It's quite a fun little platform game. Rambo. This one's really fun too. It's more of like a maybe an isometric kind of game. Very, very fun. Sorry, I'd just like to apologize for the jerky camera movement. I'm not very steady. So we'll start with Sonic the Hedgehogs. Well, these are like obviously a must-have in your collection. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, and of course Sonic Spinball, and even Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I didn't include this in the Twitter post in my photo because I thought it was more of a spin-off as opposed to a Sonic the Hedgehog game. So, yeah. And then I've got Garfield caught in the act. Hopefully I'm not shaking too much. I'm stretching out in this real weird position like I'm doing yoga or something. All right. So, we go back, and here we have Earthworm Jim. It's awesome game. I freaking love that game, man. One of the best platformers ever made for the Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. I actually played it first on PC, and then I ended up later on getting a Mega Drive copy. So, well, when I was younger, my first copy that I owned was the Game Boy Advance version. So, yeah, there's a bit of useless trivia for you. We have Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. That was a brilliant platformer. Sega, I believe, remade this for the PlayStation 3. I don't know why it's not on PS4. But yeah, with 3D graphics and everything, it looks quite cool. It's hard as hell. Like, it's one of the hardest games you could play on the Mega Drive / Genesis. Mind you, a lot of these games were, because they were built for you to get your money's worth. And you would pay like over $100 back in the day for for just a cartridge game like this. But this is only $59.99 or something, $59.95 I should say. Yeah. Then we got Bonanza Bros. That game's fun as well. Very good, fun two-player game. I was quite disappointed to see that I don't think the Sega Master System version is two-player simultaneous. But, yeah, I can't remember. Oh, sorry if I'm wrong on that. I actually can't remember. It's been a long time since I played that game. I played the Master System version first at a friend's house when I was a kid. So, Story of Thor, excellent RPG. Awesome RPG. Definitely worth, if you like sort of like Zelda-esque sort of top-down games. It's quite fun. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, trust me, it's a really fun game. Desert Strike or Jungle Strike and Desert Strike. And there's another one I believe too. I just can't remember what the heck it is. A lot of these I've got in massive collections. Like when I've bought things online, they just there'll be one game I want, and then like this game will come with it. But don't get me wrong, I want Jungle Strike. It's an awesome game. Yeah, Golden Axe 2, very very cool. Sort of arcade game. If you're wanting to add that to your collection, it's definitely well worth it. Sorry, I'm really unco with the camera, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my darndest. Okay, so yeah, Generation Lost. That's a little bit like, sort of like, I don't know. Well, it's hard to explain. I'll just look at the back. You can't really see very well, but it's sort of like done like Abe's Odyssey style. If you played that for the PlayStation 1, sort of like that. Like yeah, you've got like and Flashback too. I mean, everyone's probably heard of Flashback. I don't know. You can't really see the screenshots very well. So yeah, there's that. Apologies again for the camera. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 3. Everyone's heard of Mortal Kombat. Strider 2. I never played Strider 2 at all. In fact, I don't even think I have touched this game. I've played the first one on Sega Master System, and you know, a lot of these games I played on Master System first. I wasn't one of those rich kids that could afford a Megadrive. We didn't really have that kind of that kind of privilege. But yeah, we've got Lemmings over here. That's always a good game. Everyone's heard of bloody Lemmings. It's awesome. The Otterfints. I wish I could tell you what the hell an Otterfint is, but yeah, that's what they are. These weird things that do stuff. I don't know. Let's have a look. I haven't really put too much time into this one. But yeah, it's another fun wee sort of platformer. There was always cool little offbeat like games like this back in the 90s. So, you know, characters you never heard of. And it was just really cool and refreshing because something new would come out and you didn't have any idea what the hell was going on. And like, there was no YouTube, so people couldn't review stuff and tell you about it. So it was kind of like, do I buy it? Do I not buy it? And of course, back then, those games were just as expensive as they are now. So, Marco's Magic Football, that's a fun wee game. Very cool mechanic where he uses his football to, or a soccer ball. We call it soccer here in New Zealand. I know it's football in England and soccer in the US, but yeah. Marco's Magic Football, brilliant game. Definitely give it a try. It's a very obscure sort of game. Sorry, I'm freaking struggling to sort of pose in those weird positions. So yeah, we've got Blades of Vengeance. Haven't put too much time into this one either. I think it's sort of like an RPG. Or what is it? It looks kind of like a platformer type deal. It's weird. I love these kind of graphics though, man. They're just so cool. Beware, evil awaits. Can you handle the monstrous onslaughts and defeat the evil Dark Lady? No. No, I cannot. It's a special. What was it? A special there. It doesn't say. I love how they've still got the tags on them. It's quite neat. So, yeah, there goes Flashback that I was speaking of before. Absolutely brilliant game. Syndicate. Another cool game. It's so complicated, I don't even know how to control it properly. I believe it's for the Megadrive / Sega Genesis and the PC. There was a recent version of this sort of franchise on on the PlayStation 3. That was a brilliant first-person shooter, but yeah, this is a really, really fun game. Every time you like in danger, it would play this really cool sort of music. It's like sorry about that. Another world. I believe this is also like Flashback and Generations Lost. Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah, it's a very strange sort of game. It's kind of like one of those games with like sort of delayed controls where they do it on purpose. Like Prince of Persia kind of style, or Abe's Odyssey if you're from that generation. This here was it Zenon Mega Blast or something. I think that's more of a shmup. Sorry about that. I had to change the camera angle because my arms are killing me. So, Skeleton Crew. I haven't really put too much time, if any, into this one. So I don't know if I can recommend it, but it looks to be some sort of like isometric action game, which is pretty bold for the time period. Again, excellent graphics. So yeah, it's 1 to 2 players, so that's always good, right? One game I can recommend you is Streets of Rage. If you haven't heard of Streets of Rage, then it is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, sort of like an arcade sort of game. It's sort of Sega's version of the game Final Fight, which was for the arcade. And sort of like bringing the arcade to your bedroom, basically, or to your lounge, or wherever you got your Sega set up. Yeah, $35. What an insult! This game is worth so much more than that. Sega Classics, yeah, that's definitely an important sticker because it is a classic. Zool. Right, here we have Zool, which is a game by Electronic Arts, also known as EA Games. Electronic Arts, I should have said, rather. Yeah, this is I think the light's really playing on my bloody cases there. So, yeah, Zool is a platform game. Around the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, I believe they were doing some sort of remake, and which ended up turning into this game Ninja Bread Man, if you've heard of that. I think Guru Larry, his channel, just talked about that. And not only did they sell you the game once, but they tried to sell you it multiple times. Ninja Bread Man, they used exactly the same game engine, and they just changed the 3D models slightly, and they made about 4 different games out of it, which is just insane. So yeah, I don't know how they got away with that, but I guess, if people are willing to buy it, then they'll do it. So yeah, fun little game. It's kind of hard to make out the sort of the graphics, the screenshots there, but yeah, take my word for it. It's pretty fun. I found it kind of bland towards the end because, yeah, not towards the end, but after a while it just feels quite repetitive, which, I mean, most of these games are, granted, but Zool just seems to be like, like this, the levels change color and that's pretty much it kind of thing. And you shouldn't feel that way with a game. Whereas like something like Jungle Book, that's a brilliant platform game. I actually originally played this. They had a Megadrive set up at this department store called Farmers in New Zealand when I was a kid, and my mum used to go clothes shopping and stuff there, and she'd bring me along, and I'd be like, I want to play the video games, and so I went and played on the Sega Mega Drive, and there was usually Jungle Book and Ren and Stimpy set up on there, and sometimes Virtual Bart as well. Yeah, that was really good, sort of nostalgia for me when I finally got my own copy of Jungle Book and Virtual Bart, which we'll go to now. This one was quite a hard one to find because, yeah, it's quite an obscure game. What it is exactly is, I wonder if ever do like a VR virtual Bart. That'll be weird. It's not all like VR and high tech as you probably think, but it's just a Mega Drive game. So we've got there's like this awesome sort of Road Rage sort of clone that they did, but with like Bart and stuff. He's riding his motorbike and you can knock other dudes off, and it's a really good fun game. The water slide game, I don't really know much about because I haven't really. I guess you just press the right direction or something. Hold on to your shorts. Then we've got that's basically the main screen, and whatever it lands on is whatever mini game you play. So if you end up playing, if it lands on the bottle, the baby bottle, which is right there. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that just made it worse. If it lands on the baby bottle anyway, it plays this cute little baby mini game where you're like baby Bart and he's like walking on a clothesline and stuff, and like if you fall down like off the trees and you die. I'm surprised they haven't got a screenshot of that. Oh yeah, they do actually. They do. I'm stupid. There it is there. Yeah, see, like he's on the treetops, and if you fall off, that's it. You're dead. It's quite heavy gravity in the game, so it's just a fun little game. Like they're all just fun little mini games. There's one where you play as Bart as a dinosaur. That's pretty fun as well. Pretty crazy, creative stuff. I love it. What have we got? We're almost halfway through. Bubba and Sticks. That's a fun wee platform game. Very, very obscure game as well. Quite weird. I haven't seen this anywhere else. I don't know. I just got this with a bulk lot that I bought off of Trade Me. So, yeah. Trust me, it's fun. It's got different sort of mechanics that I think you've got to use your stick to like do different things. It's quite wacky, cartoony, as you can probably tell by the title art. Hold up, I'll just change camera angle again. Zero Tolerance. It's a Sega Genesis game, but I believe it does play on the Mega Drive, so it's weird. Same with Tasmania, seems to do the same. It's a fun game as well. I don't think I've played too much of it. It's very hard. The graphics are so cool, man. I love these sort of graphics. Yeah, very fun. Got Paperboy, a game that doesn't really have a genre, but is nonetheless an extremely fun game. We've got, you just basically throw. It's an arcade game, I guess you could say. You just throw papers into people's letterboxes as you're riding past on your bike, and you got to watch out for all this crazy crap like cars. Cars, people are walking in the way, all sorts of stuff. Great game. Green Dog, the Beach Surfer Dude. This is another obscure platformer. There's a lot of platformers back in the 90s, as I stated earlier, with weird sort of mascots. I guess everyone was sort of fighting to try and be the next big mascot besides Sonic. Because by then Sonic had just stolen the show. Before him was Alex Kidd. Not many people speak of Alex Kidd, but he is an awesome character. And I really wish Sega would do something more with him and sort of drop Sonic a little bit and just kind of, do something a little more with him. Miracle World, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, highly recommend it. If you haven't played an Alex Kidd game, play Alex Kidd in Miracle World. For the Sega Master System. Fantastic game. Rocket Knight Adventures, another fun platformer. This time using your rocket pack as a mechanic. Very genius kind of gameplay. It's very arcade feeling. You would hold down the attack button to charge up your rocket pack. You've got like a little gauge at the top. Can't really see. And you can swoop in and take out the baddies with that. Evil pigs in this one. So, yeah, sorry, you can't really focus on that. Sparkster is just Rocket Knight, but a sequel, basically. What do we got? Yeah, see? Graphics looking a lot more sharper and quite cool. I mean, I guess they all sort of look like that if you've got really good video quality. But very good video input. AV just sort of made it look kind of blurry and stuff. But yeah. Jurassic Park, if you've heard of this, then for the Sega Megadrive / Genesis, then yeah, it's a pretty wacky game, pretty crazy. I enjoy it sort of though. It's not my favorite game, let's be honest. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Oh, right, we've got Wonder Boy and Monster World. I've got this for the Master System also. It is a pretty wicked game. Like, it's very fun. I love the style of it. Sort of like a platformer RPG, a platform with RPG elements. Very fun. It's kind of the inspiration for Miss Artgarden and my game that we're making. I'm going to do it sort of in that style and see if she likes it. Yeah, pretty cool. We've got, I don't even know how to say that name, but we've got that too. Hang on, just change camera angle. Oh. Okay, we're nearly there. We've just got a few more rows to go. Quack Shot, an actual Donald Duck platformer game, where he's got this this little sucker gun here, and that's sort of like your. I don't think you really defeat enemies. You sort of shoot them with the sucker gun, and it just freezes them in place for a bit, which is a pretty cool idea. So the any Donald Duck game's fun, especially for the Master System, which I'll get into. I'll probably do a video about those games later. But yeah, I just really enjoy these sorts of games. Columns, surely you've heard of Columns. Great game. What else we got here? We'll try and get through it as fast as possible. Primal Rage, that's a beat 'em up with weird, gross out sort of mechanics. I believe you can like fart on your opponent, or there's like a cheat to like, I don't know, do wheeze or something. I don't know, it's real weird. Not my favorite beat 'em up, that's for sure. Super Baseball 2020, don't know if I'd bother with that one. I'm not a fan of baseball, but yeah. If you like sports games, I guess it'd be fun. Bart's Nightmare, very weird game. I do not understand it. There's all this kind of weird crap floating at you at once, and it's very strange. Like this, the back looks really fun. You think, oh, it's going to be a Bart platform. It's going to be awesome, but bit of a flopper for me. Not really my favorite. Ren and Stimpy, Stimpy's Invention. Great platform game. So much good sense of humor in that. That and Earthworm Jim have got to be my favorite two titles for the for the Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. General Chaos. That one's a fun sort of, I don't even know what genre you'd say that is. It's really weird. Like, you're like, yeah, it's sort of like top down, and you got different guys from different squads. Like, you got sort of your machine gunman, your grenadier or whatever. And you just take out your other, I don't know, look up a Let's Play of it. It's actually really fun. Really awesome game. Very different. Yeah, well worth your time. What do we got here? McDonald's Treasureland Adventure. That one is pretty cool. I actually really enjoy it. McDonald's actually made video games with Sega, so they collaborated. Really fun platform game. Treasure is the company that made the game, actually. Yeah, very fun. Sort of. See, they don't have anything like that anymore. Like, no video games to try and sell you fast food or nothing. I don't know why. Because, you know, it's like, as a parent, you have the responsibility to say to your kid, no. What's this? I got to parent my kid? Oh. Well, that's 2020. What's going on? Isn't it the school teacher's job to feed and clothe them? No, I'm just being silly. But yeah, it's honestly, they should bring back games like this. Um, Normie's Beach Baby-Rama. This will probably be kind of sort of controversial in today's society, which to me it shouldn't be, and it isn't. Yeah, you basically just this guy Normie, and he's trying to get he's trying to get chicks. It's a platformer, and it's very strange. I haven't put too much time into it, but from what I did play, I really enjoyed it. We'll have a look at the back just quickly. It's sort of like a, yeah, it's very weird. They've got all these chicks in bikinis and stuff. I love the art style. The art style is pretty awesome. Total bummer. All right, let's go back this way. What have we got? Two Crude Dudes. That is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, I believe. Sort of thing. Well, I guess, yeah. Side-scrolling platformer / beat-em-up. Quality product at the right price. Ristar or Ristar, however you want to say it. Absolutely brilliant character. I believe this was actually going to be, it was in the runner-up at least, to be one of Sega's main mascots, and he has since made a return in games like Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is really neat. A fun, awesome platform game, very creative. Very, very creative. Yeah, very cute little character. I like him. Phantasy Star 4. Now, this one cost me, well, it cost me quite a bit when I was auctioning for it, because it's quite hard to find. If you've heard of the Phantasy Star franchise, then it should come as no shock to you that they're awesome games. If you're into sort of RPG sort of games. Yeah, definitely. Phantasy Star Online, apparently that's like one of the main ones. Never touched that. I don't know what it's about. But yeah, very, very fun game. Very rare too, very hard to find. And very expensive now, I think. Street Fighter 2, this was another one I got in a big sort of bulk set of, different games. So yeah, very fun. Street Fighters, obviously, I don't really need to explain that. It's just your fighting game. McDonald's Global Gladiators, that's right. McDonald's had another game. This one's fun as well. It's a platformer. Mick and Mac, the Global Gladiators. They got these little guns that shoot out this goo stuff, which to me I like to pretend it's Mac sauce because it just looks like Big Mac sauce. Fun game, very fun. Again, it's a bit like Zool, how the levels kind of feel the same after a while, very cut and paste, but just different graphics. I mean, I guess that's just, I don't know. Retro gaming, like Earthworm Jim, it never felt repetitive like that. The levels all, I will say that about it, is that the levels all felt different and unique and quite organic. Like, so it wasn't sort of like, they didn't have this kind of grid-based sort of pattern like gameplay. So like how Mario Maker is, how you've got like, you can place block by block and it just feels very kind of, I don't know, uniform, I guess. Anyway, Tasmania, that's another Sega Genesis platform game. Yet it plays on my Megadrive, so that's interesting. I think my Megadrive is from England, I believe. I don't quote me on that. It might be American. So that's probably why I can play it. But yeah, very good. Very good. I've got a Megadrive Model 1 and a Megadrive Model 2 with Sega CD attachment. So yeah, it's a must. Battletoads, awesome arcade beat 'em up game. I won't get into details with that. You just look up Battletoads if you don't know anything about it. Awesome game. Comic Zone, this one's another hidden gem. Not many people know about this, but if you like comic books, then this is probably the game for you. You play as what's his name? Something Turner or something, and was it just Turner? And he's writing a comic book, or he's drawing it, and he gets sucked into it, and he's got to go from window to window, beating up all the enemies in that he actually created to get out of it. And it's very, very creative. The animation is just fantastic. It plays a bit like a beat 'em up. So yeah, very fun. It has a little bit of puzzle elements here and there. This chick here, she ends up talking to you over like this little headset thing, and yeah, there's like little speech bubbles that pop up and everything. It's just nuts. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. Looking at gameplay of that, I believe Sega has done like more recent releases of it. I can't be too sure. Probably in their Megadrive Collection or something. Be on the lookout for it if you haven't played it. So yeah, very cool. Right, Golden Axe. That's the first one. Sorry, I'm sweating like a damn pig. It's freaking really hot. Yeah, so Golden Axe, very fun arcade game. We've got, yeah, you can play, I think, 3 characters to choose from or something, and it's 1 to 2 players simultaneous. So, yeah, very fun little multiplayer game if you've got a friend over or whatever. Chuck Rock, yet another little obscure sort of platform game. But this time using the mechanic of the Rock. You find, not the Rock Johnson, but the Rock as in like, you know, a freaking rock, a literal rock. So you pick up big boulders and you hurl them, and you can stand on them to climb up to higher platforms and all sorts of crazy stuff. Or you can use them to take out your enemies. Haven't put too much time into it. It is a fun wee arcade style game. Yeah, pretty fun. I like the graphics too. Like that guy just looks awesome. Look at him. He's like, yee. Gunstar Heroes. If you've played games like Metal Slug, well, I guess it's the only one that's really of its kind. But yeah, Metal Slug. Pretty much a Metal Slug clone for the Mega Drive / Genesis. Very, very fun game. Awesome. Yeah, very fun. You can do combinations of weapons though, and come up with like your own sort of. You pick up these orb things, and you got like a combination of different weapons you can use. So that's cool. Like for instance, you can pick up the fire one, the fire element one, and like the electric, and you can come up with this weird like electric bullet that just annihilates everything on the screen. It's freaking cool. Like it's one of the best games ever. Right next to it. I mean, a lot of people probably favor Metal Slug, but I think this is definitely worthy of attention. It's a fun game. I think it's got a recent release on the PlayStation Network. I'm not sure. Dynamite Heady, another fun, creative sort of platform game. Not promoting anything. It's just your standard basic platform game. It is done in the style of a stage play, which I find really neat. So you've got little guys holding up like different things. Like all the enemies kind of have this kind of, the whole level has like a sort of a stage play feel to it, and I just love that. I think that's really creative. Just so much creativity in these games back then, man. Like, I mean, look at him. He's like this weird, wacky dude. His head just kind of hovers around, and he throws it at things. And you can get different like pickups and all sorts of crazy stuff. Cool Spot. This game was well, basically he's a mascot for the drink 7-Up. If you can even still buy that anymore, I think you can. It doesn't taste the same as it used to. My last time I had it, which is probably like over a year or so ago. Fun platform game, extremely hard. Again, the levels kind of started to feel kind of sort of same shit, different smell kind of thing. But it is a fun game for sure. Whatever happened to Cool Spot anyway, you know? Oh, that's what. Well, he had his 15 minutes of fame, and that was it, pretty much. Yeah, this one plays a lot differently to the original Cool Spot. This one's more of an isometric platform game. Don't know if you can make that out there, but my battery's running out, so it's probably not picking it up as well either. I don't know. Yeah, isometric kind of game. Pretty fun. We're only got 2 more to go on the list, and we're done. And that is, whoops. Whoopsie, sorry. I don't know what I did there. And Toki, or Toki, that cover just looks gross, man. Basically, he is Toki going ape spit, which is just a gross cover. He basically shoots out these little balls of like energy or something. He was like a dude, and his girlfriend got kidnapped by a wizard or something, and he turned him into a as you can see here in this screenshot, he turned him into a ape thing, and and now he's got to get his missus back and break the curse. So it's quite neat. This one is Real Monsters from Nickelodeon. Another fun platform game. This one plays a bit differently. You can switch between Oblina, Icus, or Crumb. And yeah, if you grew up in the 90s and you know of Real Monsters, you could probably appreciate this game. You kind of need to look at the manual to sort of know what the hell you're doing. There's a lot I still don't know about this game from what I've put on of it, but yeah, it's quite fun too. So above all, yeah, this has been my collection for the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis. Let's just zoom out here, see if we can. Oh. I think, yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can see all that, but yeah, it's quite a few games, really. I'll just run over them with the camera and see. I'm really running out of battery, so I've got to hustle quickly. But yeah, this is just the final look at them all. Yeah, so better not forget these fellas. Yeah, very cool. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Now I've got to go edit it because I made quite a few mistakes. And sort of bumbliness, or I might just leave it as is, who knows. Catch you in the next one.